He's got Tom Hanks hankering after his cool quotient, and he's even been compared to Sir Laurence Olivier. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you managing to keep so calm and composed in the middle of all these accolades which are just coming forward? You're literally the poster boy, I think, for the Hollywood dream at the moment.
I think it puts you to rest.
Yeah.
It puts you, at ease if people acknowledge your work, and if you have a great experience working with legends like Tom Hanks and Ron Howard. It makes you feel, great.
I'm sure sometimes it even surprises you, the kind of, leaps that you've taken even in the last couple of years. But, you always have to keep dreaming bigger. And I think I read about an interview where you said, you know exactly where you're going to place an Oscar in your house. I don't know how true that is. But is the Oscar the next big dream, and how far do you think?
I don't dream about Oscar.
Yeah.
I don't dream about any awards in my life.
Not even the Oscar?
No, okay. Never. I used to dream about national award long time back, and I used to prepare my speech. When I used to drive, I used to almost like do loud thinking, and I still remember a few lines of that speech. But my life has turned out in a different way. Life has surprised me, and I trust that surprise now. I trust that uncertainty.
We met Deepika 2 days ago perhaps, and she said how she was just so full of respect for you for the way that you've handled Hollywood. She feels that you've really conquered it. Have you and Deepika spoken to each other? And because obviously she's in Hollywood as well right now.
I'm it's like I'm always speaking to her in my thoughts.
But not over the phone.
Not over the phone. And I wish her best, and she has the way she has matured as an actor, and the way she is hungry to do interesting work. And the main thing is, it's very important that she is ready to experiment with herself, with her image. The way she picked up Piku, and the way, the kind of enthusiasm she showed in exploring that character, and the way she shaped it. Because I was imagining that character something else.
Yeah.
But the kind of dignity and the kind of beauty she brought into that character, which is almost like very hyper.
Yes.
Yes. With that.
She's a girl who's got handling a lot, overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Really.
And handling that hypersensitivity, hyper temperament with that kind of grace was beautiful. And I still remember a few shots of her where there was nothing to do. She was just sitting, and there's so much she was oozing from her.
And that's when it's the real challenge, right? When you're actually sitting and doing nothing, but you're still having to.
I think what makes it, what is the difference between Indian cinema, what we do here, and Hollywood cinema, is that what you don't say become much more important than what you're saying. So that is something is very enjoyable as an actor.
The spaces between the lines.
Yeah. When you play that, and when that is picked up by the director and the editor, and they make a drama out of it, that is much more interesting.
And unfortunately, Irfan, we don't see enough of you in person in India. At least, I haven't met you for a while, because you're so busy all over the world, and you're spending so much of time, of course, in the United States, which has become such an interesting place to watch really at the moment, because of all the politics around it, so to speak. It's all set to change. Someone who is coming in from the outside over there, really from another country, what are your viewpoints to what's happening over there? Because that's another
drama for the whole world. Everybody is watching it, and I think it's like daily soap is going on. And the main thing which is coming out of this whole drama is that American public has lost faith in mainstream media. That's why whatever mainstream media is saying is not showing effect on public. So it's a very volatile situation in America, and I hope we don't land up in that position where we lose faith on mainstream media. And
we've seen, actually a lot of artists over there being very vocal about their political views.
I don't think our society needs my view, because it's running on its own and it's running fine, and they don't need whenever they need my opinion, and when I know that it will matter, I'll tell my opinion.
Okay. Is this why also you've chosen to not, comment on, because obviously the industry is very divided at the moment on whether, Pakistani talent should be.
I was not here. I was shooting outside. Now it's, I think, already done. You have run the story for several nights, and whatever you had to extract, you have already extracted. I don't know what the government says. I would rather I would be interested in what is government's take on it. If they choose that, we shouldn't have any kind of interaction with that country, then there's so much is going on still, so what does government think about that? The trade is going on, there is so many things. So I would be eager to know what government decides.
There are a lot of firsts really with this film, with Inferno. First of all, it's releasing in India 2 weeks before, the worldwide release. Of course, we're seeing you on the poster. There's a special India trailer.
They have planned a release keeping in mind that, how my film would have been placed in this scenario where there's a festival ahead and they are releasing the film on 28th, but they want to release it earlier here. Because that's how they see it in India, where my film could be placed. And I'm happy that, they're considering it as one of my film. And it's positioned like that.
Yes.
And that's what you want as an actor. So I'm happy about that. All over the world, journalists have watched it and they loved it. And I'm really curious to know how people react here.
I'm sure. Thank you so much.